allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our roll call. Steve Herron?
Here.
Carol Huncomb? Here. Jay Jones?
Here.
Jean Unruh?
Here.
Lexi Murphy? Here.
Our attendance means we have quorum. Attendance of guests. Hi, Glenda again. Marlon too, and Matt. If you have signed in, please already on the sheet. Thank you. Okay. We are to the chance to approve the agenda for tonight. Do you have any other additions or corrections that need to be made to it?
So this sign one, do we have to add it on there or no?
Not yet.
Not sure. Okay. I just saw it on the, I meant, doesn't need it on the agenda. I just
Can't
got
do
it.
that because it's in, yeah.
Oh,
We're looking for more information, more streets than just that one.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. Okay, we got a motion by Lexi and a second by Carol to approve the agenda for tonight. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the agenda for tonight as presented, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carried. Approving the minutes from the 5/23 special meeting. It's attached there in your skinny little packet. Did we find anything, any misspelled names? Any other confusion that needs to be clarified?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 5/23/23 special meeting.
I'll second. Motion by Jean and a second by Carol to approve the minutes as stated in your packet for the 5/23 special meeting. Does anyone see anything else that needs to be revised? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes from the 5/23/23 special meeting, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carried, minutes approved. Payment claims, you do have additional claims for you and the original claims report.
This was just a late one of the EMC that came in.
No, it was paid on the 30th. But
Oh.
I need to do some coding, different coding on it.
Usually I was in June when I left.
Yes. On the end?
The Frank Dunn Company General Patch, is that for the street?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions of either Kelly or Michelle on anything listed here?
Why do we owe a resident $230?
There were two residents because they shut their service off and we owed them part of their deposit back.
Oh.
So I applied the deposit and what was left is what continued.
Was that fire door back then? That almost did? Was fire door repair, or was that for
It
the
was
fire
at the fire
department?
station.
Oh,
Fire
okay.
department.
I think we need to talk to our city attorney and and repeat that she needs to do better in billing to us and their company. It's ridiculous. The bill.
Is that really from August 2021?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, it's not bad considering the length of time.
But still,
Holy cow, yeah,
that's a long time.
it is a long time. Year and a half about?
Yes, I seem to think they will be quicker to bill going forward from here now.
Yeah, all right, sounds perfect. Are we getting the right window envelopes finally?
Third time.
Good deal.
And those are for the whole bill?
And we don't have to bend them or fold them or
I
nothing?
can't say that. They match up.
Come on, come on. So. I see that safety wear, that is for the guys, right there. Have you looked into anything, you know, we talked one day about t-shirts or something that would say City of Paullina on it, or have you checked in, or do we wanna just do, we don't need those as safety maybe, but do we?
I can look into it, yeah.
I don't know, does anybody else think that, I think it would be nice when they're out there and about in the city that they would say city,
Well, they should have either
Or
yellow
Paullina?
or orange when they're outside.
or something.
Yeah, those two were working today and they had their vests on, so that was
Okay.
good. Because people can see you, you know. That's why I wear these. We have to, we can see.
Why did you owe the city of Hayborn 62 million?
They switched all their meters out, and I bought a bunch of meters from them for half price.
Oh,
Good job.
yeah, nice. And they're working.
And it should be enough to finish what we have in town here, so, and a few extra stuff.
Yay.
And part of that bill, we're gonna have to bill out to, I got some for Bremer too, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they'll give you a little bit back?
Yep.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And the seat covers were just for those two new pickups? So do you order those, where's Napa? Where do you send them?
Halverson.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of claims.
Jean, does that motion have support?
I'll say.
Jay? That motion by Jean, a second by Jay to approve payment of claims, including the additional claims, correct, Jean?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other further discussion regarding claims presented this evening for payment? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving payment of claims for tonight, including additional claims, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carries. Claims to be paid. Number 8 is a follow-up to the presentation you heard from the South O'Brien principal, Denise Phillips, about using the Laue room for those CAPS classes. It doesn't start until fall, but she wanted to be ready and prepared since they're planning things here before that gets going, and wanted to make sure it was okay, and if it's not, they'd have to seek other alternatives. And again, to refresh your memory, that was just for the couple hours in the afternoon.
Is it daily though?
Yep.
Or 2 on or something?
Yeah, just for those couple hours, and obviously like on election day, we'd have to have them go somewhere else, but they can maybe sit in here or.
So I have a alternative, instead of using the Laue room, so that if other people want to use it, why, since the aerospace basement, we're using, could they use that?
Yeah, I brought that up too.
Except then we'd have to pay for their utilities there and separately, whereas this is already included in what we're operating.
Yeah, she told me
So
that
it'd be
too.
added cost there.
And it's
Because otherwise I
normally
just
just
think
during
that
the
too.
week
Yeah,
for a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
And then that ties it up for,
They're gonna
I mean,
miss
are they
anything
gonna
like
pay, or are they
funeral home
wanting us?
they're gonna
No, are they
put that
paying?
in
I
the
don't
week.
know. I'd say it's a
Right
little.
off.
What are we offering?
what are we off- we aren't offering them that money.
So
Oh,
they'll
you
rent
just said,
it.
you just said that we'd have to pay for the utilities. when
If
we
they wanna
use
run
it.
If they were separate, because then our utilities aren't running beyond the basics over there. If they
Yeah,
want
so did
heat
we,
in the winter, well, are we not heating that room?
well, how much is rent here?
That would be not a rent. We're not saying we would charge them a rent, they're offering to give the AV equipment to update and add a screen and add the TV that will stay with the Laue room going forward and be used.
That's what you meant by what we were offering, or
What they're offering us.
So we're offering use of the room, I guess, at no cost unless you'd like to charge them something.
And we're gonna
They're
get rid
providing-
of that equipment.
They're providing that for,
Okay.
So they want to take it down after all, like after they.
No.
it stays
It will
property.
stay.
So that's nice.
So that's a good
so
deal.
all the equipment would stay there?
From them.
To be used
No.
by future renters.
So they're probably gonna bring computers in, or are they gonna have something that they're gonna use daily and then have to remove it at the end of the day? or-
That's what they're giving us, the smart TV is what they need over there.
That's
And
all
the
they need.
presentation screen.
They've already
So
have laptops.
Kids
So
have.
then they'll
all
use
have
their
their
own,
own
and then they can put that, which is what we should have in here, is some sort of a setup that's updated, but
So I guess if somebody, so how are we gonna handle it if somebody wants to rent it?
they still have preference to rent, yes. We can still rent it, and then we can either move them in here, or they'll find another alternative for a day or two. Like I said, election day, we already know, some of them are booked. Most of the time, it's
If only there was
weekends.
a building in this town that had a meeting room that doesn't get used,
Your room gets used all the time.
not during the day.
2 o'clock on Wednesdays. But yes, other days, they could. That would be a good
Yeah,
fill-in. Thank you for offering that.
We can utilize the library meeting room also, correct?
Well, that would be a hard then, so that there would be not a big to-do, but if there's something here.
Yeah.
Sounds like a win-win, you know, we get the equipment and.
Right. And then can they just, is it easy to move then, that they could move it there, or do you have something there, Matt, that they could use?
You have an option for them to hook up, like, we've got an adapter for our TV that makes it smart.
Okay.
So,
Then they wouldn't have to move everything, just move the kids.
yeah.
Okay?
And you
So-
have internet access for them?
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So that would be nice.
backup.
I'd give that, tell that to Denise. Yeah, no, I didn't, I thought that too, like what Whitney, or Lexi said about using the Iowa State Bank. But if we've got to add more heat in the winter months and all of that, then we're,
Because we mentioned it too, when we talked about, yes, because having someone in there would be good, but then also that also limits your future potential for getting to do anything else for that whole period, and you're not really gaining there
right.
any financially or even otherwise. And you have outside costs, whereas here you don't have really outside costs. I'm sure the loud room heat will go up slightly for those couple hours than it normally would, but that would be negligible to the 3 meters we have running over there. So they just need to know if that's an okay deal, though they can get the equipment set up however you want it, whether you want it installed in place, or whether, I thought the cart made more sense just because then no one's locked in anything, but that's all you're called to. You can put it away when needed or protect it.
And how many weeks are we gonna do this?
It's fall semester right now.
The full semester?
Yeah, it's fall semester.
So my question is, like, if we put this thing on the TV, how often is somebody gonna use the TV in there, as like when they rent it?
Well, we had a meeting over there, we could have used a better presentation when we had our live Zoom meeting, for example, and there are groups that have asked whether we have any AV equipment, and we usually make them. bring
John
their
Deere
own.
has meetings there.
Oh, really?
The city goes down to the fire station now because they have a smart TV down there, so that's where we usually do our,
But you guys could do them right here then.
So here then it would be a lot better.
otherwise we gotta use a projector and whatnot here.
Rig it.
So it sounds like it's kind of a win situation for us. We don't have to buy the TV and everything.
Yeah, that's essentially your in-kind donation or rent, or it's cost.
so.
Well, that's, so if John Deere has meetings here, they rent, and essentially rent it.
Yeah, we're just doing this for the school, right?
Not saying you couldn't use your now ability to have AV as an offering to add $10 to someone to their normal rental if they need it for the Laue room. You didn't have to include it. You could have them add that to your rental
They
if
need
someone
to use
used
that.
it. Yeah. Or you could include it as a nice feature, but that would be your
Because
call
what
as
is
well.
it now when they come in,
75?
75? Okay, about 100 deposit?
But do we, because like if somebody does want to use it, like we are not connected to Wi-Fi. Like not our phones, like they would need the Wi-Fi password and everything because the one
There is a password for
There's a
it.
password.
that does not work. Because when we've used it, we've tried to connect to something and it does not work.
Oh, I haven't heard anything lately.
I connected with my iPad over there.
Well, then it just must be so because somebody called and like it's not connected. I'm like I don't know if there's a password. It should be right there. I don't know the password.
I don't either, but I know they were gonna post it someplace so that people could use it
Okay.
rather than.
It's on their material, I think when they get the material rented paper.
They can get, there's a password on it.
Just so
Okay, good.
I mean, so they have it. So if they need to use it. Because I think I've texted Kelly before. I'm like, what's the password?
Yeah, no,
It works.
I had heard it, but I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think we should, I mean, that's fine to have that audio and visual equipment, but I think we should charge something for rent to them.
I don't think with the program you can you?
They don't have it, no, not really.
Oh.
because it's,
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half. Yeah, it's an hour and a half, 2 to 3:30, yeah. From what I've seen since I've been here, it's usually open.
yeah, during the day, it's not, it's more.
Yeah, it's like, it's the last two
mornings,
periods of the day.
weekends,
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will make a motion to approve the use of the Laue room for South O'Brien for the CAPS classes coming up fall of 2023.
I'll second.
When you say fall semester, Brenda, you mean till like December, that whole, the first half,
I
okay?
thought she said it was like 18 weeks.
Or however long we need it.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought she said the front-loaded meetings part was in that fall. Was that all?
That is about a semester, 18
Yeah.
weeks is about a semester.
18 weeks? Okay.
Do that now. I think it's just fall semester they meet, and then they're not sure how it goes forward, but right now it's just fall.
Okay.
That's what I think they were asking. But I can clarify if that's needed beyond that.
Probably
we
they
might
have
want
to then reevaluate too.
Yes,
probably
yeah,
after
school
that,
starts
to
in
see what they think.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might August to December, January.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so we've had the motion by Jean, the second by Jay to allow the Laue room use for the South Bryan CAPS class this fall semester. Do we have any other discussion or questions?
And we don't have to add to that they're bringing in their supervision and all that stuff.
Which they will provide
Yep, so that's understood by whoever.
AV donation.
Yep,
And we charge them nothing else.
yep,
Correct.
it's free at this point.
Yep.
Do you want them, have them check with the library first?
Yeah, should we throw that in on that?
As an alternate.
As
An
use
alternate.
the library as an alternate, is that right, Gene?
Yeah, that's great.
Library offered alternate use, okay. Jean and Jay have made that motion and adjusted it. Do we have any other clarifications needed?
Could you repeat what the motion currently is?
No, again.
It's too much.
So how do you know what you're voting on?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we got it all here.
But I don't.
You could maybe replay it when you get back, or this one. So,
Jay-
Jean, would you like to reformulate your statement? so
I
that
would like
Mary-
to make a motion to approve the use of the Laue room for the South O'Brien CAPS classes starting fall semester 23 for their 18 weeks or whatever they need it for with the library as an alternate, free of charge.
Perfect.
And I'll second that.
All right, so we've got a motion and a second. As you've heard, do we have any other questions or clarification? Otherwise, Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. We are all ayes, motion carries. Approved. Let her know, thank you. Number 9, the Swanson Complex Commission member. This is come to our attention that there was a Swanson Complex Commission back in 2006 or 8 or something. For some reason it was stopped. The school talked about it and would like to get it going again. It's what we have, we do 28E, which we are having updated as well. Because
Do
it
you
is
have
also
like, can we have a copy
from
of like the old ones before we appoint
Probably
somebody?
have it, just find it.
the commission.
The 2080 or
The
what?
2080 or whatever?
Yeah, you're not approving a new 2080 yet. That, we'll have that to do. This is just to say, do we want to approve a complex? So they're going to appoint a school board member most likely, and then the athletic director, they're suggesting there, I think it's 4 total people, but they would like one at least from the city as a representative. So I thought one of us would see about. So 1 city member, 1 school board member, and the athletic director, or who make up this.
Who's our athletic director now?
Steve Likely.
He is still, okay. And they haven't picked a school board member yet?
No, he presented at our last one, and we just meet before the next one. So I
And it's
thought-
nobody like, so that it's usually like somebody from the school board, us, and then nobody from the outside?
And then just the athletic director is that. But no, so this, instead of them coming to you and always just asking for money for the payments and things, as you saw in the claims, there was that as well, for the trees and the toilet breaking. It's that this person would be informed of that and be able to report like a committee would. It's basically like one of our committees. We do, technically, they could fall under Parks and Property, so if that person or that team, someone wants to step up.
Maybe that's Carol and I.
Otherwise,
Go ahead.
they're only gonna meet probably, I would say, like seasonally. It did say monthly in the original document, which they thought was a little much, so they were gonna look at some sort, but they'd like to get a 5-year plan going. They'd like to have someone involved in the decision-making and be able to have a voice for the city as well as part of the 2080. Like I said, it existed for years before it somehow went
Well, I
away.
feel like we can't really appoint somebody from the council unless it's one of those 2, because our 3 terms are up this year. So how do we, one of
Well, you
us?
just do it for now to start out, just as some, to see how it rolls. And then
You
you
know what
have
I,
somebody.
you know what I,
Yeah, you can finish this season though.
Yeah, you can finish up this year.
It would be I think it's an annual thing, I don't know, the appointment of the thing, of the commission.
Do they have a copy of the 2080 then, or?
They do, and so does Tisha.
I'll bet you we have it in here.
So,
Somewhere.
Yeah.
what does that say then? A commission of 3 people?
But they're gonna look that over and see if they need to change anything on the 2080 or is
Just
that
updating
supposedly
the
good?
legal wording and
Okay.
like it refers to it as the Paullina Sports Complex instead of Swanson. Remember when we had his contract that we had to sign that and it said it was outdated and had old wording and said some strange things in it that were probably old, like talked about a milkman or something, like those kinds of things, kind of like our transient merchant. So it needs to be brought into this century maybe and
Yeah, but I'll bet you we have
And make
maybe
sure-
find it, maybe not.
yeah, she has it, Tish has it already.
Oh, she's got it, okay, then we're good. They probably got it
So
here.
hopefully maybe by the 19th, the idea would be that then you have that and we have this, and then they need their next meeting at the end of the month, and then everybody can have a meeting as of July, and we can get started, and they're still in season there, and we can see what's going on.
So it's an athletic director, somebody from their board, and somebody from our board.
Correct.
Just want to be clear on that.
And I don't really care if you want me to do it, I can do it too.
Right, it does not have to be a council member, it can be a city employee or elected or otherwise, hired or otherwise.
I think that's a good idea. If
I have
you feel
to,
you got the
because
time.
yeah, because you're going out there and help fix anything.
And you know what's going on, and
Yeah.
you know what's needed to be done, I think that's better than one of us.
Yeah.
If you feel you,
If you're okay with it going to another meeting, from fire here,
Fire council.
Another night out, huh?
Yeah.
If you can't go, you could,
I mean, if you
You know,
can't go,
ask someone else.
I can
Yes,
go.
if you are gonna be gone, then
Fine.
I'll be your alternative.
get a hold of us, somebody, yep.
Okay, so would someone like to make an official
I'll make the
motion?
motion that we appoint Kelly Top as our member.
I'll make a second on that.
Okay, Okay, Lexi's made the motion and Carol has seconded to appoint Kelly Top as the Swanson Complex Commission member for the city. Do we have any other discussion or questions?
I don't think they meet that often. Probably just meet as necessary.
Maybe quarterly, if even that.
So it isn't like you're gonna be stuck knowing that.
It'll be fine.
I guess we do it at school, maybe. If the school board member or something can get there during school hours or something.
But if we have a meeting or something.
Okay, any other discussion on that? We'll call for a vote. All in favor of appointing Kelly Top to the Swanson Complex Commission as the city's member for the remaining term of this, we'll call it calendar year, I guess we would say, for 2023. Say aye. And opposed, say nay. All ayes, motion carried. Congratulations. Okay, excellent. We are to reports. So we have some interesting reporting to talk about. First of all, we have some guests we did not identify yet, which we would like to identify. Who wants to go first? Who should-
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Justin Jacobs-Mung with Williams & Company. I just wanted to give a quick update on the annual examination we're doing for Paullina. Me and one of my coworkers were here all day today, so I thought it'd just be good to give City Council an update while I was around. Keep in mind, this is not an audit, this is an examination. The state of Iowa has procedures that they put out that they want done, and so that's what we follow. And we're looking at the fiscal year that started 7/1 of 22 through June 30th of 22, or excuse me, 7/1 of 21, through 6/30 of 22 fiscal year, okay? So it's last fiscal year is what we're looking at. Just to give everyone a heads up, there's going to be some findings on the report. We're currently drafting the report, so these are preliminary. For example, there was a transfer that we identified that wasn't on a resolution. It would be one example of something we noted. There was also, we look at payroll, and there was just a calculation error on someone's pay that we identified as well. But otherwise, I would expect to have something in the next 30 days as far as a final report. And I appreciate the city's patience. It's been a challenge on our end as far as manpower, but then it's just been also challenging just with new faces around Paullina that have been great to work with so far in getting us what we need. But it's just there's a lot of knowledge that it's hard to replace at times just when you get new faces, and it's no different than my line of work as well. So, but we made good progress today. We came a day in January as well. And like I said, we'll start working on the report now and have something out in the next 30 days. So any questions?
You were gonna give us an itemized, I think I talked to you about getting an itemized list on what we've paid so far. I think we just need to see, how many hours or days or what you put down.
Sure.
Just something.
Yep. Yep, no, and I certainly can do that.
It doesn't have to be real, so we have something.
And I just want to remind everyone that, it's taking us quite a bit longer, not the fault of anyone here at the city, it's just you have new faces and, it just takes us time to get what we need and to get some answers. I'm not, there's no blame here, it's just that's the reality of what we're doing, and that's what any client we work with, so, it's been good, because even when we were here in January, I don't know how long Michelle would have been here for, but I felt like less than a month, and then today, here, it was, I felt like, man, I could see some improvement, more comfortable in the software and stuff, so that was encouraging. Just because it makes our life a little easier as well, and is beneficial for the city. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. But yes, I can get you something.
Yeah, because I think the first time you came was it July or August? Weren't you here earlier before January?
No.
Oh, I thought you were, okay. That was your first time.
Yeah, January would have been our first time.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I know, they sent you some information before that. but-
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. And then our other not guest anymore is our new addition to the team, Alex.
Yeah, my name is Alex Briggs, and I'm the new assistant clerk.
And how's it going on your number 5 day?
It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, learning lots.
She's taking long breaks and.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
She's answering the phone already if somebody call in.
Good,
Who you're talking
good.
to, yeah.
Doing the bank
Good.
deposit by yourself and
All right.
Good job. Yeah.
all the fun stuff.
Stressing her out.
Nice to meet you.
Older guy here. Yeah.
Threw in the fire today.
Yeah. So good.
That's good, yeah.
Okay. Anything else? We'll talk about the street thing we talked about, your request later. If you want, let's get to, Tish's not here, let's go to you, sir. Thanks, Jesse.
Yep, you bet.
Oh, water shut off, prep for concrete. We got the new tablet working for meter reading. Got our water MOR done. Meter reads, finished the lagoon discharge, swept streets, poured concrete, locates, pushed up tree pile at lagoon, read in, read outs, did grass cutting postings, and we ended up mowing 2 of those properties. 48-hour notice postings, did the lead report mailer, trimmed some trees, picked up our new equipment from John Deere,
Woo!
sprayed for bugs
I'm
at,
excited. I was excited.
sprayed for bugs at concession stand, picked up meters in Haywarden, fixed the water sprayer on the street sweeper.
Has that been running? I see you guys out and about with it.
It's been,
Doing okay?
yeah,
Good.
there's been a few little hiccups, but we've been keeping it going so far. Mwamba's water has he wanted us to turn it on, it had a leak in it, so I was there for a while, but it looks like somebody's there gonna be digging it up, fixing it. Ambulance calls, and then we did camera 2 sewers, and the camera we had come can only go in 8-inch or bigger lines, so we did 2 of them for us, and then Jim Howe was gonna come and do the smaller ones.
Was the one with the smaller, was that the Sibley guy that you talked to, or not? Or Cherokee? Who'd you end up with? Sibley?
The people from Cherokee did the bigger lines, that's the number I got from people in Sibley, and then
Oh, okay. I knew you talked to
And
someone.
they're coming when, or have they?
they came already.
Did they find anything?
Nope, there's one connection where the connection goes into the main, probably 2-3 inches, but other than that, everything looked good over there. And on Nate's alley there's a big root ball, I don't know, probably 3/4, probably right by your place, there's a big root ball, so
What's that mean?
tree roots,
Oh.
blockage, so.
So
And
we
then
don't have to do that, you guys, or do you call friends, or who?
We're gonna, next time we get the sewer jet, we
Oh,
gotta
I see
tip
that.
that should bust it out.
Nothing anymore.
That's a 4-inch line, so we couldn't get in there.
That's the guy, you haven't looked at his yet.
No,
Okay. Okay.
If you have a chance when you do that, have him there too, so you can see. I know you video it, but still.
and I do have, I got I don't know, one of those little things you put in the computer. Flash drive. I got one of those of the 2 sewers he did do, if anybody wants to look at them, so.
Exciting. exciting. Sell tickets.
Yeah.
Theater.
Those two properties you mowed, will you, the girls, you will send those bills with your city bill, is that how it goes?
And how much do we charge for that?
$100?
And Motumbo, Pete's gonna have somebody fix his water from the shut off to
The water leak looked like it was about 10 feet on their side of the,
so
Shut off.
put water back in that house. Is there electric in that house?
there never has been, I don't believe.
You can take one of these chairs, guys.
That's the side of the
2020.
I'll grab 120.
Still have a lot of
2020 is water. I don't think there's been electric in there since I've been here.
Yeah, I went back to 2012 and it was.
2012?
Yeah.
Last time he said electric.
Whoa,
Holy cow.
so that's been a long time with nothing there.
Yeah.
Used to put all the council meetings, they would call them, and then the sun.
Yep. We got some of that. Okay. Anything else, Kelly, on that? Anything else from your report?
So we got,
I talked to Kelly about, I read a couple little stories about Swayback doing the trees out at the park. And he's going to get quotes on that. And maybe we can put some money over in the street, because I can see what we can do. Because some of those are pretty big trees, and you can dig them in a lot faster than these guys.
That's good.
Supposedly, it said in the paper 100 trees, and we did that part.
he was there 2 days, or he was,
And they $14,000 was the quote,
For all of them out there?
That'd be all of ours. Great.
so. And I'm sure he ground the stumps too.
Wow.
well, I think they were gonna,
They just did the worst ones out there, or they did all of them?
I think they're all done out
They
there.
plan on learning too.
Wow. Because theirs are kind of right out in the center of everything too, where the playground equipment and all that is, and campers. So,
All right, do you have anything you'd like to add right now? Hey, Nate.
Well, I have something for Nate. Hi. Can I talk to him?
Is this your 5 minutes
Is this
at
your
the
5
end, or do you
minutes?
want to?
Well, I just want to thank him for running his siren and giving somebody a ticket on Maple Street. Thank you very much.
Good job.
there you go.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Caught me.
Don't go on our street. No link from the ambulance fire. Matt, are you here to report or just not on that? You're later?
We are doing some addressing of our HVAC, which we'll update you on in a couple weeks. But
Okay.
it hasn't been looked at for a very, very, very long
Okay.
time. So
All right. Any of our committees want to speak any at all? Employee, we have received a few applicants so far, so soon they'll be looking on that.
For which,
For the outdoor one, you mean? So I think maybe us three can set up a time to interview and get moving, if that works. So that we can get someone hired. And how about, you had a couple for the cleaning? Just one now?
So I had some that showed some interest, but they haven't picked up an application yet.
Okay. And I feel her and Michelle and Alex can figure out who we need to clean. They know what needs to be done, and I think then they can just come to us and tell us who they figured out. Because I think Sandy used to do it that way, and I don't think we need to interview you, take care of it. If that's okay with everybody?
Because yeah, it doesn't have to be like a long-term,
No.
month kind of thing or whatever.
Just an ongoing,
Trying to-
on cleaning, and you said there was a few things you thought needed to be a little better, so you're the one that knows.
Steve and I have been invited to the economic development next Tuesday at noon at the bank.
Which bank?
Oh, that's it.
Oh.
Next Tuesday, huh?
Mhm.
What days?
Tuesdays.
13.
And then so,
Okay.
he said he would send text on it, so.
Sure. No, perfect.
Okay, and then related to your request last time to look at the ordinance updating, we were talking about, are there any others? So you have the list of which streets are blocked for traffic. But as in some other discussions, we believe there are some areas of older parts of town where it would behoove us to either alternate the parking, on-street parking, because of a fire truck and an ambulance might have trouble getting through there also if people are parked on both sides. Because fire trucks are getting bigger and everything's bigger and more trucks for outages and things. So if there are areas you would like to drive around and get your widest vehicle and drive around in and see what, at night obviously. And if there are any other ones to add to this before we do the whole amendment adjustments, we'd like to have it up to date. And that makes sense.
Which street is that I?
You're on Grossbeck, so it's
Is it
just-
Grossbeck? I
Yeah,
can't
it's the
remember.
first one, so it'd be past Maple. And then we just have to decide, is it one block, is it two, it kind of runs out there, so it's pretty much just the one more block, but.
I see Jean and Jay are on the street, so I don't know if they want to maybe
Yeah,
check some out.
Yeah, we'll just tool around town some night.
Yeah. Now drinking Nuisances.
What?
Come
Come on.
Come on, not like the old days.
Nate didn't hear that, I don't think. He did it last time, he was nothing.
You didn't hear that, Nate.
All right, just leave it go.
So we should update that so that there are any other streets that before we do a whole 3 readings and all, we update that. And same with the parking prohibited, if there's anything there. And Nate, I'd like you to look at those too, if there's some problem spots you can recommend. You should have everybody weigh in at least on the people that are most bothered by it.
Okay.
So I'd like to see
And I think that's
that.
a good idea to just let them park on one side for a lot of the narrow streets.
Yeah, there seems to be narrow streets on that in the town.
Pretty bad when they're parked on both and I have to back up. So I think
They've been doing parks like that for.
The people living there
years.
complain also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that live there.
Yes, because I've heard that.
That's been like that for a long time.
So, yeah, should
At one
definitely
end.
do that. And then the other thing was, apparently the vicious dog ordinance is coming.
It's coming, so we're working with Tisha still, so we're just want to get the correct wording. So we are trying to get it's called the administrative search warrant. And we're, the city attorney, and that's something that the city attorney and Nate asked for, and then they should get it within a day, and then they get it, warrant, and they are able to go into the house and seize the animal. So we're just trying to get that wording, correctly, so there's just no problems.
And it's not breed specific.
We are taking that out because of the Iowa,
There's
new Iowa code or whatever. So every dog will come under a vicious dog.
So the pit bull will be completely gone.
Correct.
That's a good idea.
Yes to the agenda on June 19th.
Yes, I think Tisha should have it all done by then, yes.
Will we have enough time? We'll have to work on amendments and
Well,
stuff.
that'll be the first reading, yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
First one.
Yep, and we're just updating the tickets too, we thought, so. We thought they were pretty
Charge for
low.
the
The
tickets.
fines.
The fines,
Okay.
yep, we thought they were pretty low, so if we got them a little higher, maybe people will do something.
Yep.
Pay a little bit more attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
But there's some legal things that we have to
Get,
get through
Mhm.
first
so,
before we
and
can.
that's the administrator, we just want to make
Amend
sure
everything.
we get that worded correctly.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
The only other issue that will have to be on for June 19th also will be this food truck fund today. We had some other last minute, because again, the chamber told some vendors, including our own local one there, that they did not need all that paperwork, and then they told them they did need that paperwork. And so they did fill it out, got it done, 10 a.m., whatever, in time for everyone, but that shouldn't be taking her time, my time, their time, the morning of, any of that. I mean, you guys are gonna have to decide what you need for sure and
well,
what.
if every food truck does it, then everybody, if one food truck does it, then they probably audible, we could narrow
To me,
it
it's such a
down.
lengthy thing.
I mean, we
It's
could-
shorter than that.
Shorten it up, but
Yes,
if
I
every
mean,
town
How
has.
many pages is it?
It's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
Even Kent, our insurance guy, said it's very excessive.
Yeah, I think, let's check
Also
some other
questions are part
towns.
of the back.
But I think every town has one, I think
But
we
not
need,
this lengthy.
no, but I think we need to,
Let's get some of them and
Yep.
look at theirs and compare.
I think you should talk to your people in the chamber with food trucks
and find out what they all actually put through, like Tom, Stop, and.
Yeah, what they know
all
about
that.
towns.
And then put through what they have to.
Because what if they have to do for program when they go down there for the O'Brien County Fair? I'm sure
There
they,
is
that's
different.
That is
There's a little
different?
difference
Okay.
rather than a one-day event.
Yeah.
There's different rules on the state website if you look that up versus a one-day versus a 3-day or more is the other limit where they need to
Our
separate.
food trucks,
is it
every other Tuesday,
every other Monday? You mean?
every other Mondays?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
said, we did a good job again today, they were very pleased, I see.
So everybody in the chamber knew that they had to get the permit.
No, they thought they were free,
No, remember
that was the
before
big
Sandy, it
deal.
was communicated it was not needed for
No.
them. So when they
Because it
reached
was-
out and scheduled all these before, they had told
Told them
them that.
nothing.
So now, then we did last time, we did the scramble and filled them out, the 2 tapper and.
Yeah,
I thought
But then
we were
they
doing
The chain,
liability license, the food license, and, what was the
Permit.
third?
They actually see a copy of their permit.
Yeah, and they were, the state permit,
Yes.
our tax permit.
but
Well,
the
I-
chamber met before
Which how much on
they started the food truck, and they had a meeting and talked about having to have the peddler's permit. They all knew that ahead of time. The chamber had a meeting to that effect, and they all
Was
knew
there-
that ahead of time.
Yeah, once they, but all this has been contacted prior to that meeting. That meeting was after they'd already reached out to all these places. Anyway, they're reaching back out now, and do we want them all? Well, we'll have to decide it officially, but you didn't decide officially anything because it wasn't on the agenda, we just discussed it. And it is not on the agenda because there's been no direction. So if someone would like to give actual direction to how to simplify it, that would suffice, that would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
This is
should be
his
simplified.
recommendation here, what do you got?
I think you don't need driver's license, everybody.
No, I think that should be the
And the
guy that runs the
and the
business.
license.
He
Yeah,
should
he's
take
probably
care
got
of his
most of that
drivers.
stuff.
But so we looked at this before, the application, that form is different than the ordinance.
The ordinance has none of this in it.
Right.
This is never.
They
And
changed that
apparently
form,
our-
we never
Our
changed
insurance
the
guy
ordinance.
never really
Right.
approved this either, so I feel like that's gonna have to be looked at, so.
So we have to coordinate them together.
But being they were considered free gratis because they're not, the chamber isn't making money, they were told they could just get them in here, right? And not do anything with
That's how
it.
she understood, yes.
Yes, so
So is
that's
that
our,
the actual,
But they're still charging money, that's the problem.
the guys, the businessman
Yeah, the
is,
businesses.
but the
Right.
chamber isn't.
But I don't know I don't know at what point that the chamber met, but the chamber did have a meeting, and they had a discussion with all the chamber members, and was explained to them that they had to have the peddler's permit. So I don't know if it was after this all had
No,
started,
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
May 3rd was the meeting.
Okay, then it was
Across the
after.
hall.
Is that what that's called though, peddlers, or
Once a
there's
month.
two different ones?
Okay, once a- it's a
Isn't
trans-
the peddlers, isn't that the one where they walk around town permit?
It's still the same.
That's part
It's
of
still
it.
the
Part of
same?
it. It's kind of the
Isn't it
same.
vendors and peddlers or something, it's
That's
together?
what the ordinance is related to. The
Oh, okay.
ordinance relates to all those, the permit related to just food trucks and whatever else it says here. Yeah, mobile food vendor permit.
Like I said, you should talk to a couple of your chamber
That's where it
members
said.
and ask them what actually, could they go to different places what they have to put
We
down?
also have one coming just for heads up on Friday. We just got
They
that.
call
We
it
also-
peddler
is it a
report.
peddler permit or a food truck?
The peddler should be the
Peddlers
walk
is more
around.
walk around more.
Walk
Okay.
around.
But
This
anyway,
is
there's
a-
another one coming that's not the chamber, but we're getting shorter turnarounds on these, and she can't, it takes about 72 hours of emailing back and forth for these
What's
people
one?
that, they're like, well, nope, that's not it, try again, or send it again. and
What's the one
that's what
Friday?
They don't know.
It's one of the KT scheduled, but just nothing was said to us. I just got an email
Just got
from
it
the
said.
food truck vendor.
So there's
Did
just,
they come down and fill out that report then?
She's been here before,
She
so
hopefully
she had
will.
the form.
yeah,
Well, that still has to be filled out.
correct.
And she did.
And she had all the stuff from before.
So
It's
we
just
need
that
to change the
Yeah.
the ordinance
ordinance
needs to be-
and the application.
So they jive.
To update and talk about this.
Because like I said, I think they only need certain things, they don't need.
So who's gonna work on that?
I'll do it.
Can we find any of these online, like different cities?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I think.
It should be, probably, shouldn't it be in?
Orange City's gonna email me theirs.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you
But
find
get a
some
couple
online,
pounds,
get them up to date, find out
Yeah.
their ordinance and see what matches.
see what they
That would
do.
be great.
if we can simplify it, that would be
Yes.
great.
We should really just need to follow what the health code and what our own insurance people say. That's the state of Iowa Health Board and
Does that
our own
campus have that?
insurance.
Yes.
Well, I can
Make sure
ask
it-
That should be the
It
way.
jives with our insurance.
Yeah, those are the whole points for it.
Yep,
So
right.
if you can spearhead that, that'd be awesome. Like, same thing for volunteering. All right. Is there anything else that we need to report on? Otherwise, we do have some guests. We have council comments, I guess we'll
Oh,
go to that.
I have a question, what was the response back on that
Oh, they are doing it. They've
So
not
they're
picked
gonna
up a
make
copy.
12 feet
They're
then?
making it to 12.
Okay.
Oh, they did agree to
Yeah.
it.
Is that Nathan?
Okay, good.
Yes, they did agree to it. They haven't picked up the copy, but it's.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's,
And,
I talked to Chad Dow today, and he said the quote of 12,000 and 16,000, he would stick by that. And he said for clearing out the Johnson property. And then we had talked about maybe digging a hole, possibly, and burning that. And he said that would probably be a lot simpler, but if we weren't, allowed to, they could haul it out to the dump too for that 16,000. And he could start basically anytime.
I did talk to Tish, and I asked her if she knew if we could do that in town, and she said she sent me some emails, but it was just shortly before the meeting, so I did not look at them.
Okay.
And she said she looked it up to see if town can do that, if we can dig the hole and actually bury it.
Well,
And
I
burn
don't think
it.
you were asking to bury it, we were just asking to burn it in the control.
Burn it, but then it's
Right.
gone,
Yeah.
I mean, it's done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I haven't read them though.
but I remember when they were gonna do a controlled burn on property and they weren't allowed to.
Because the transmission lines are behind it, so we would have
Yeah.
to watch it.
Yeah, you got our lines run right to town, right?
So is that gonna stop it then, you feel the burn?
Possibly.
So are you talking about taking down all the trees along the railroad tracks then? Everything's
Well,
done?
just
Just on the
after that.
property.
Just on
Just
that,
the
John, the
property.
front
Yeah.
property?
Yeah,
Right.
you know, they leave that one right there.
I don't know,
was
if
gonna
he-
say,
did
I want
he
that taken down.
actually
Windbreak.
look at the
That
one going
bridge,
east, or don't you know?
I don't know
Okay,
for sure.
yes.
If he just did the front or what?
He just, I think Scott went down there with him
Oh.
at the time.
Yes, hopefully we get something going there.
I've got that, Jay and I need to meet for wages and get those done this month yet, for the new budget. And I think Kelly, I mentioned it to you, to talk to, do your two that you've got, or your couple guys. Evaluation, and we'll do Kelly and Michelle. And I talked to DJ Weber, and he says he needs an at-large TCA member, or somebody that will be on their board starting in July, and it'll be for 3 years. So we know of anybody that would be interested, or
And who's
that we
this
can
going to
appoint.
replace, like,
Currently,
The
there's,
at-large is Hartley right now,
Also rotates.
and it rotates, and now it's gonna be Paulina's
That's
turn.
just a regular board.
It's the regular board, but
that
it's
like Larry, the one Larry Swayback's
Larry,
on?
and he's got 1 more year.
Okay.
Because he did tell me that is a 6 years one, because he's on that. He said he figured John was still on the programming thing, so he didn't say anything more about that one. But he said, we are on the thing for July for 3 years for the at-large. And then in 3 years it goes to Bremer, I think. After that. So if anybody knows of anyone that would be interested,
And
we
do
can appoint
they,
them.
do they meet once a month?
Yep, just like they do.
Oh, it's always in the morning?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, 7 in the morning. And I don't know, is it an hour, 2 hours, whatever,
Most of the time, it's,
short and sweet.
30 minutes.
I doubt if you can do it in 30, but,
yeah.
And
Figure out
it's
an
on
hour.
Tuesdays, Mondays?
Wednesdays.
Third Tuesday of every month.
Oh, I thought it was Wednesdays.
I think it's the third Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought it used to be Wednesdays. So. But if anybody knows anybody, they can let us know, and then we appoint them.
And
Starting in
that's July.
And I think he said it was the 18th, so whatever that day is, of July that they would start.
So we have 2 meetings potentially. Yeah, that.
Since it's the third Tuesday, that means the meeting on the third Monday has to be kept real short, so Kelly isn't tired early in the morning.
All right, anybody else have any comments for council, or anything open to our public? Okay, public. First one here was Glenda, so we'll let Glenda speak first if that's okay.
Okay, thank you, Nate, and you did slow the traffic down for a while, but it has picked up. And you're not the bad guy. I am the bad guy, because you also stopped one of my good friends, and boy, did I hear about it. So, the second thing I have was brought to my attention about the bike path crossing on Maple Street. They said about the little kids, you know, on their bikes, how they get ahead of their parents wheeling down there. And they wondered if there wasn't something that could be done with that crossing. So this morning I had to go up to the courthouse and I stopped at the county engineer. And since we kind of share that with them, I asked him if there was anything that he could suggest that we could do there. And he said that perhaps put a sign up that says bike crossing farther to the south. And he didn't know what we could do because it's right after you turn the corner off from 10 both directions. And then he also suggested painting the crosswalk there would help people realize that there is something there. But there is no sign when you come from the south that says that you're coming up to a bike crossing path. And I know I had some of the parents at the fire pancake thing coming, and they were talking about that, and they says, you know, these little kids have no concept of how dangerous that is. They just go like crazy down that hill and then zoom right across Maple Street, and you're this far back from the stop sign. So I don't know if there's something we can do. County engineer was going to look into it. He said they would have somebody come and look. And I thought that was very nice of him. We'll see if they do that.
Yeah, right. He's
Okay.
always last.
That's all I have.
Awesome, thank you for researching that. Okay, who wants to go next? Marlon, Matt?
I'm just here to find out more about what's happening in town. I don't have any specific issues right now. Just learning.
All right. Matt,
All right, I'll stand up for this one, but. All right, so first off, I just want to say I'm here in my capacity as a citizen. So this is not as a librarian or school bus driver or anything like that. This is me as a property owner and a resident here in town. Not a lot of things get me hot and bothered and upset, but protecting my wife and my property does. So on the evening of May 25th, I was not in town, and I got a frantic phone call from my wife, who was chased out of our own yard by local pets. Now, I know there are opinions here who have people who may know these pets or have heard of these pets and who might say even to my wife, oh, they're nice and friendly. They were not to her, and they were aggressive. And that anxiety, coupled with her own trauma with that, and my own trauma with that, I bear scars from being attacked by a dog, and I love dogs. But Paullina has a problem. And I'm sorry that I have to come to you with this hostility and frustration, but Paullina has a problem. We have pets that are unleashed and loose and are a nuisance and a danger in our community. And I know a lot of great pet owners, and I care about them. They're good people, but they are not adhering to the policies and the laws and ordinances of this community. And that needs to be addressed. And the ordinances, even as I'm hearing that we're going to update, the ones we have need to be enforced. They need to be enforced. My wife should not be afraid to go out into her own garden and work. That is our retreat, our special place that we have paid our money for and have been paying our taxes to keep safe. I do not have the funds right now to fence off my yard from all the neighborhood dogs who use it as a dog park. but I do have a city that is responsible to enforce the ordinances. Now, this is not the first time we have had these dogs from our neighborhood in our yard. This is the first time I did call law enforcement in. Now, my question for the city is, what citation was issued? What previous incidences is the city aware of from this address? That's the 100 block of Southwood. There's only one house there on the east side. What report was filed? What fine was issued? And what is the consequence of the next time? Because I am very, very frustrated. I'm frustrated with the response. I'm frustrated with this being a continuing problem and constantly seeing and hearing that, well, that's just how it is and they're not bad animals. But you know what? The next day I showed up at the grocery store and there were 2 loose dogs sitting outside the grocery store. That's not appropriate. And I've called before, and now that's been over a year, but I've called before when I've been on my bus route and there are loose dogs being walked with the kids to the school. Now, you cannot tell me that unleashed dogs in a crowd of 40 to 60 kids getting on a bus is a safe thing. The city needs to handle this. And so I realize you might not be able to give me answers to these questions tonight, but I will be back and I will be on the schedule next meeting, so I don't know what you need to write down now for that. And I'm doing this not because I can come in here anytime and get your answer, but I want this answer on record. I want it to be known that I have a frustration and that I am here and that anyone who's watching or reading in the paper can know that a good man, I try and be a good man, is frustrated and fed up because my wife should not be afraid to go out into her own yard. And I shouldn't have to be worried about the response. The response should be that dog and that owner are responsible. Because here's what happens. The initial incidences, when a dog is loose, that falls on the owner. When the city, and after incidences, does not enforce its own policies and ordinances, it becomes the city's problem. And so, if this continues to happen, I'm continuing to bring it to the city, because it's not just about them. If we have rules and regulations, and that's what living in community is about, in order for us to get along, we have rules and things we obey. And so the city needs to enforce that, or the city is liable as well. And I don't want to see that, and I don't want to be here complaining about this. You guys have enough on your plate. But I never want to get a frantic phone call from my wife like that again, because she's hiding in the car because this dog got aggressive with her, and she panicked. And it's not about her, it's about my property, and it's about the rules and regulations of living together in community. So I don't know if you want to answer any of this. Maybe you want to give it time. But I'm sorry. I'm very frustrated. I'm very upset. And I've sat in other council meetings before this where these same things have been brought up, and it has become very evident that we're just not enforcing. So again, the questions I have are: what citation was issued that evening? What previous incidents are the city aware of from dogs at that address? What report was filed? What fine was issued? And what are the next consequences when this happens again? Because within 2 days of that incident, those dogs were in my neighbor's yard. So, any response to that? I mean, you're not obligated to respond, but...
Obligated to respond, but Nate, have you addressed this with Mr. Dengler previously? Directly at all?
Well, I mean, not Dave, as far as talking to him. Okay, one, there have been previous incidents, and they have been previously cited. They were not cited in this case. If part of it going by our interaction with, in this case, your wife, which when I got there, the dogs had already been picked up, and at that point, she didn't indicate that it was something she really wanted to pursue, if that's...
Because she was having an anxiety attack over this whole thing, because not 2 years ago she got attacked.
For something like that, I didn't witness anything, so the reporting party needs to be willing to fill out a statement and potentially go to court if they want it followed through on.
And then,
Yeah, but enforcing our ordinances shouldn't require me to go to court.
it does if you're the witness.
So I have to go to court because there are loose dogs in the city. That
If
apparently
it's
people
something
are
I
aware of.
witnessed directly, then I can be the one to testify in court. But potentially, if it goes to court, we need a witness. I mean, that's a pretty basic rule of, the witnesses against you, be able to confront them. That's a pretty basic tenet of American law. So like I say, if it's something I witnessed directly, fine, I can testify to that. But if I'm not the one who can testify to that, we need to be sure that somebody's gonna be available who can testify to that.
So what rights do I have as a property owner if these dogs are on my property? May I capture them and wait for you to show up so you can witness this and take them away?
That would be an option, yeah. If they're on your property, if you can latch on to them. And we can and have.
That's scary.
Better them than my wife.
Yeah.
Also impounded dogs, taking them up to the vet.
The one stuck its
Do
head
you
in my
know who the
doggy
people
door.
are that own the
Bit.
dogs?
See,
They come
I've
in
not
to
met
see, they
them.
come into your
And
house
my
once?
doggy door was
They're-
only this big, but it stuck its head in there, and Max is blind, but he was going crazy, and I went out there to see what was going on, and here was this husky's head sticking in the doggy door, and of course, when I came out to the porch, he backed out and ran away, but, yeah, they are left to run,
They made it clear up to our house.
yeah,
So do we not give them tickets?
yeah.
Or,
It depends on the situation.
so if your dog's loose, and they go on somebody's property, they don't get a ticket for that, or do they
It
normally?
depends on the situation. Is it an ongoing thing, or is it the first time? It
So may I
depends on
ask whose dogs these
how
are?
the feeling of.
They-
That's kind of what I was
That's who it
asking.
is. How many does he have?
They have two big white dogs, don't they?
Yeah, they're both huskies, and they're
Yeah,
good
they're
sized
big.
I
dogs.
have a black little.
They have a black dog too, I think.
One's actually a wolf hybrid.
Whoa.
So previously, they had issues, basically they had worn out chains and tethers, and I think they addressed that. In this particular case, apparently the dog figured out how to get out of the house, out the door latch.
Well, so there's 3 witnesses already who've just spoken to this, besides me. What is it gonna take to get, because my wife got bit a couple years ago, and it was just a little dog. And that dog just chased her down the block and just decided that he wanted a piece of her. Now, we didn't report that issue because we knew those people and we talked to them, and we put it very squarely that if that ever happened again, we would seek legal ramifications. Now this, you've got your witnesses now. What is the fine and the fee? Because it is obvious even to city employees that this is a nuisance. Like, I don't get why there isn't a ticket issued immediately.
Like I said, because every circumstance is unique. If you guys are willing to fill out a statement, I'll give you the form tonight.
Yep.
Now, I mean, it'd need to be your wife.
Yep,
You
that's
can
absolutely
witness it,
fine.
So, okay. But yeah, I can take those statements and we'll go from there. But like I say, every situation is unique in its circumstances, and we try to tailor our response accordingly.
Yes, if the owner has been fined 3 times within a 12-month period, that is the next level.
So there is a fine on there, what you're saying?
It does say that.
It's like
Misdemeanor.
50, 75, or 100. They're not very, it's not very high. We made them higher this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's even gonna be that high for this. And somewhere in there at one point, it said all civil violations were $10. Unless otherwise specified.
It doesn't say anything in there about removing the dog off from the owner.
Yeah.
It does.
I thought it did.
Well,
Any animal declared to be dangerous by the city council or its designee.
So
yeah, you guys
Just
have to
dangerous.
declare it.
Yeah.
a
That
vicious
is
nuisance
dangerous,
animal
like
with
it
dog,
can
and
be
you have
That's,
to-
that's different than having a dog at large.
Well, they need to keep their dogs locked up.
Shall be
dog at large
Or
or
whatever.
whatever. it
Dogs,
should-
cattle, horses, swine, sheep, or other animals or fowl to run at large within the corporate limits. 1004.
Can we
That's your chickens, people.
put them on notice?
Well, I think they should get something.
I think they should too.
Maybe if you fill out the deal, then see once it makes them go talk to them and.
He asked me, have you ever given them a ticket for a dog at large?
They have previously.
Okay.
Can we get some printout of or log of that, so we have that on to note at here?
See
Is there any way to tie that?
if there's a way to search that.
So it's gonna be hard for us to track and know.
Because if they're gone working or whatever,
That
that's, those
summer's
dogs
here,
should be
those dogs
locked
are
up.
roaming around and.
If they can't keep them tied up, they need to be locked up.
Yeah.
In a
Or get out.
building or a whatever.
Or get out.
Yep, or take them out.
Seizure, impoundment, and disposition of dangerous animals, it's all in here.
Because that's not fair to have dogs running like that.
No.
Yeah, it is $10 in a 1-year period, $20 if it's another one.
Yeah,
If it
we're,
goes
we
beyond
up
that.
that.
If a dog came in your yard and it growled at you and hair came back up on its back, could you legally shoot it then?
Possibly.
It's on your property.
It's on your property,
Well,
like that.
you know, I had one come on my property and had his hair on his back up and growl at me. I didn't know if I could shoot him.
What do you do
Depends
if
what the
neighbor's
court or
dogs
the
just
jury
come
would
over and
decide
use your
qualified
yard
as
for potty
a
breaks?
threat.
Well, it was, my wife went to pick up a stick and the dog landed in her, so
Oh, sure. You
I
knew.
should've went and got my 9 and popped him right then.
Any peace officer has the lawful authority to kill any animal or any spot
Because that's what happened to our neighbors when they killed that one across the
fighting
street.
without provocation.
The deputy did.
Doesn't say.
I didn't shed a tear on it either.
Now, on that ordinance, you said that the civil fines or whatever for at large, it doesn't say anywhere in there about removal of the dog from the property for just being that large.
No.
What page?
Initially at large, it says unless the owner's been fined 3 times.
I mean, if we find it, yeah. If we're moving it from the property, you're getting pretty high into the need for somebody to sign off on it like a judge. If they're running loose, we can say that.
Those dogs were running loose for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always, you always see it on Facebook.
Yes, impoundment is Old County 158, so there's a lot of it, it just has to be handled, and even me, I've had complaints over cats, actions of cats constituting a nuisance, we have a lot of those as well.
Do we have an ordinance there too? That's what somebody asked me. Can you legally feed feral cats? Is there anything in there? Because I know in ordinances, a lot of ordinances, people get in trouble for feeding deer. That's
true.
And stuff like that. Because we got a feral cat problem now.
Yes,
And
and it's against the law, according to our ordinances.
For feral cats?
To run at large, cats to run at large, how many cats you see.
so if they're running at large, then we can dispose of them.
That doesn't say that.
It never
Darn
says
it.
the mat, it says the last one.
Any cat repeatedly found at large, orphan dog has
We'll make
violated
sure we put
offenses
it in
in this
there.
chapter repeatedly, it's 3 times. That doesn't say we're supposed to.
But see, the problem is
Answer.
there's different places where people are feeding these feral cats.
They do all winter.
Yeah.
So Matt's problem, we're going back to
Yeah.
that.
For the money, it's.
You will file a report with Nate.
Yeah, I'll take the paperwork and I'll have Faye give her testimony for it. But
Okay, sounds good.
I just don't want it to stop with that. And it sounds like enough people have had incidences here that,
Yeah, that has to have something done. That's not fair anymore.
and I know, we've got neighbors who'll speak to it too. Longquist have talked about it before, that dogs were coming around. And it's just, and it's, I don't want to start a feud with neighbors,
No, right.
No,
but
but
this
you
is
don't
my
need
wife.
that
Here comes the point.
This is, yeah.
No. And I don't know, are they gone or are they home? The people, or do you know?
I don't-
They're home now because I think she works at a school.
I don't catch them
Okay.
when they're there, so.
Okay, well, keep us updated on that.
This is why the dog one
It
is
needs to
such.
get done.
Yes, and it's so hard legally wise too, trying to
Yeah.
get, so we can enforce things.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
Well, and then that's when you got those little checkoffs.
Yes.
That we got way back last
Yes.
summer.
Okay. We are at the length. Speak.
Yep.
Hi. Tell us why you're here. Your time is now.
go back time a little bit, Mom or Grandma traded the ground out by the sewer pond for the acres out here where the development is. And we've been waiting to get the abstract updated, and it never has been updated, so we did some, had Whitrock come and do some surveying for us to lay out the line between us and Scott Engelke, and then we've got a strip of land that runs all the way along Scott's, all the way to the end of the sewer pond road to the east where it turns and goes south. After the survey was done, we found out that Mom actually owns the road going to the sewer pond. So all the way from the street that's west of Steve, which whatever street that is.
Wood.
West of Wood.
Day Street.
Day Street. So if you come off the end of Day Street where the property starts, Mom's property starts, all the way to the end of that road where it turns and goes south, that's in Mom's name. Yeah. So having the first thing we need to do is get the abstract updated. And doing that will clarify if there's an easement on that road, which I assume there is for the city to use that road. We need to get that done right away because there's liability issues there that would fall back on Mom if something would happen on that road.
See, I remember when that happened, because you guys got more land, because they had the street as part of your property when they did that. Remember that? That came in front of the council.
We got 3 acres for one.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they surveyed that, they gave you that road as your acres, and you guys came back in because you guys had sprayed it. Yeah. No, because you guys had sprayed it and that, or fertilized it, and it came up, you were short acres. I remember that.
So the road is what.
So, like I said, they should have taken that road off.
Right.
Because you got extra land heading towards Scott's.
And it's kind of a weird strip, but it comes to the northwest corner of Scott. Then it jogs all the way to the end of that road to the east.
Yeah, your name shouldn't be on that road, because they gave you that property to Scott's.
I got a survey from the FSA office at Primgar this spring. They updated that and it showed that we have like 30 point something tillable acres.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not figuring the road in.
Well, they did it first, remember? And then, because you guys had sprayed it or whatever, and then you came back to the city and said, we only have 27 acres according to the spray, so they took the street away and gave you more land to the east towards the pond.
I don't remember how that.
Which it is, yeah, I remember that, I was on the council then.
So basically what they gave us was the road.
Well, I thought the road was, they took the road off and gave you land towards on Scott's.
There's 25 feet that runs along Scott's Road. That's only amounts to about a half acre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tillable.
So you didn't get more land towards that way? Okay, I thought that.
See, I don't think anything ever got done on it.
Okay, I remember that, because you guys came and said, or Mark did, or somebody had said that you were short acres, and that they were gonna move over towards Scott's, but it never got done.
That never got.
Okay.
Better go back in the old minutes to see.
That's been, geez,
Quite a while.
that's 6 years ago?
How
Probably
many?
6
It
years
was
ago?
done in 17.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah. When they did the West Business
We've
Park.
never had any paperwork.
I think Dave.
So, and then the map we have, the map that Dad's got right here, so there's actually a piece of ground right on the east side of the Maple Street Apartments. So it follows that line from whatever street that was, Steve said.
Dave.
Straight south, jogs over to Maple Street Apartments.
Yeah.
Comes south a little bit, jogs back out, heads south all the way down behind Goshen's.
Goshen's, yeah.
And then jogs in over to Maple Street, like that.
Yeah, because we at one time, we're gonna put a housing development thing right there, and we
That's
were
what
gonna
you were
use that
gonna
as
do,
a
yep.
street.
Yeah, so it's not a straight line off of the,
No.
if you go off of Harper Street and would draw a straight line to the south, to the fence line, it's not a straight line. That land jogs behind those buildings.
What a mess.
So the biggest thing is to get some clarification on making sure that that easement is in place and it's the city's responsibility if anything happens on that road.
Do you have a problem if we just do that, if we say it's your property, but you have no liability?
Well, that'd be the first thing.
Okay.
That'd be the first thing to do. But just getting the abstract updated has to be done. That's ridiculous. That has to be.
But obviously on the next one.
Well, somebody needs to call the city attorney.
Yeah, let's see if we can get around to getting it done.
Get that done right away.
So I told Kelly that mountain really like her road graded up nice.
Great.
Let's let her get that done first.
You want some of that good rock on there too?
Blacktop.
Blacktop, there you go.
For the city?
Then we can charge you curb and gutter.
Yeah. That'd be the next
I think you better talk to your blacktop people quick.
Yeah, put it on.
We're gonna fill some paperwork out, it's gonna be yours then.
You get that done, Wood Street's gonna be really upset.
Yeah.
So that's all we have, but we just to get that clarified.
Right.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Thank you.
see you want that.
So you spoke to Tish about this, getting it updated or not yet? I know we were
Mom
gonna-
has a few times,
Yeah.
and then finally, I think she had this, didn't she? Or did Mom get this from Tisha or from her?
No, we got it from the lawyer.
Yeah.
Struve.
Yeah,
Tisha.
Tisha.
Tish.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She has it.
But it hasn't been touched since 99.
Really?
It wasn't done when you took it over?
No, it's been there.
So is that our
And that was
responsibility to
Bobby
update that?
That's clear back to Bobby Engelke, he owned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
That should have been done when it was sold.
Yeah.
And he sold it to the city.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But that's supposed to be all done.
I think that's in your, that's the last that's, anything's been done to it.
Wow. Sorry about that, guys.
No,
Yeah.
Now, doesn't she
Thanks for
spray
bringing
all
that
the
to our
abstract people
attention.
and they do it?
better.
I don't know if it was do it at that time.
They just gotta do a title search or whatever.
Right, I think that just goes to the abstract people and they take care of it, but it needs to get
To
pushed.
see that, yeah. It was supposed to, it was, over there, to get an opinion on it. to see.
Oh, sure. But yes.
It's gotta go through all the proper
That should have been
channels.
done. That's not right.
No, it isn't.
You sell, you buy, you get your abstract done.
Well, either way, we'll talk to her about what we need to legally put on our agenda for the June 19th so that we can get that
Good
stated
idea.
first and then
I
whatever.
think she just takes something up there and has them work on it.
Don't have anything happen on the road.
Yeah, be very careful.
Yeah.
Don't go out
Charge
there
it-
and
You can
go.
charge toll road on it at this point, I
If
guess.
you want to make a couple copies of that survey, it'd be fine.
Sounds good.
Thanks for bringing that to
Thank
our
you.
attention.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so
I guess.
much.
Okay, is
We
anyone
thought
else?
when Beck surveyed that, it's kind of funny that this stake is out here 25 feet out in the field, and then come to find out, here's that strip 25 feet wide down along Scott's at the city owned.
And it's a 70-foot right of way, so it
Yeah.
encompasses the whole road.
Across there. That was a good.
And that's between yours and Scott's land, is that easement?
No,
No, our line between Scott runs north and south.
Yeah.
But it gets to the northwest point of his, which is 25 feet south of the road,
Yeah.
and then it goes all the way east till that road turns and goes south. That's where the line crosses, goes across to the north side of the road and shoots back all the way up past Richie Freck's
Yeah.
in there. And I don't know where the line runs through there, it could cut, that road jogs.
Yeah.
So it could, at that point, could cut right through the middle of the road at that point, I don't know.
Didn't you give their cousin back?
Thanks, Ron, working.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully we'll have a better update for you next time.
So probably take a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
7 years.
Well, that's right, when you've got this many years. But I think all she does is bring it, I think she'll bring it and then it goes to
She just has to look it over and give it
and
to
then
the
give it to them,
abstract.
they take care of it. Yes.
Don't talk to me, that's why I didn't meet, that I didn't ask to meet. She had another idea about the pickleball
Oh,
in the state park.
Jill?
Yes. So she's gonna give me that website or that person to call.
Have we done mosquito spraying?
What?
We done any mosquito spraying?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard them.
I don't either.
I was behind him one night, I don't know if he actually sprayed here, he was just passing through or what.
I don't have heard him.
I didn't think I'd seen
I
him.
haven't heard of it.
I was here and go through the
They were out
park.
in the.
Do we need to call?
Yeah.
Well,
He
I thought
comes
they were started in
around
June.
every Tuesday, does he? And
Probably a good idea to call them.
Just a reminder, don't
Yeah,
forget
right,
about
yes,
it.
I always thought they started in June.
I did too.
So I'm thinking we should be getting close. And I want to get rid of the gnats too.
I haven't noticed in the last few days, but that's good.
I haven't seen any mosquitoes at all.
No, I haven't either.
It's too
Well, they
dry.
get
It's too dry.
I will make the motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Lex made motion, Steve has seconded to adjourn. Do we have any other questions? That can't wait. Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say nay. Meeting adjourned 6:56
Let me
p.m.
know what you want to do to.
Yeah, tell me.
Evaluations and stuff.
Yep, I have it.
That's now.
Yep.